fish from San Diego. I don't know what I am, but I taste really good. I'm a killer fish. Hello. I'll be your killer fish for the evening. Thank you.
Hey! Well, how's it going? Welcome to the Three Attic Network stream. I am merrymitch, and I'm here today to read you some terrific tales. But before we get to that, I wanted to show you that it frickin' snowed. It snowed here. Believe it or not, here in the NC, we do not get snow very often. Oh, Randy, I did get a fresh cut. Thank you for noticing. But hey, check this out. Let me show you. Boom. Look at the snow. Huh? Yeah, let me make sure that you guys can see that. Whoa. Wow. There's snow on a car. There's snow on the street. There's snow on my feet. Just kidding. There was snow on my feet earlier when I went outside. But hey, yeah, pretty cool, right? Got a little snow day going on over here. And so, I couldn't think of a dang cozier setting to read some tales, to sit down and hear some stories. Yeah, first of the year, yo. I even made myself a little bit of delicious elderberry tea. So I'm quite good to go. Yeah, it is elderberry tea. Cocoa would have been appropriate, would have been nice, but not as good for my throat. Elderberry tea, on the other hand, is very good for the throat. Hang on, let's get that steam once again. That's what I'm talking about. Super nice, yo. It fogs up my glasses. I didn't get any, actually. Hang on. Ah! Oh, man. Have you ever seen that meme of the monkey sipping tea? Oh, let me see if I can find it. Yeah! Oh, I found it right away. I'm so happy. Here, check this out real quick. Cheers, mate. Good stuff, right? Yo, Coleman, yeah. You have seen every monkey. He's like a monkey god. Well, for all the homies who got glasses like me, buy this stuff called cat crab? What? Oh, it's like a skier or snowboarder product. but you rub it on your glasses and it prevents them from fogging. That would be really nice for when I wear masks with the glasses, because I find that is the time most when it fogs up. Yeah, is it okay to have that stuff near your eyeballs? He is the chimper. That is without a doubt. Whoa! Yo, Emerald! Welcome! Welcome with the whole Emerald Herald crew! Oh, what is up, guys? What is up? Welcome. We are here with a nice, lovely, snowy day. As you can see, it's all snowy outside. So, it's time to get comfy and get cozy and check out a little story time. But welcome, dude, Emerald. I love you. Thanks for bringing all these folks over here. And I hope that this stream meets you in some high spirits. Shoot, well, hey, all these raiders. Perhaps we can all pick a story together. Figure out which one of these we want to check out. Also, I shared this with the other folks, but you guys didn't get to see it, so I want to make sure I show you. It's very important, near and dear to my heart, if you will. Check it out. It's time for tea time with Monkey. Hey, cheers, guys. Man, you gotta love tea time with this here orangutan guy, am I right? So cozy, man, you're right. So cozy. Welcome, Full Metal Mikey. I like that name. I'm a fan of that there Full Metal Alchemist. I don't know if that's what the reference is, but I hope it is. My goal is to become strong enough to be able to do a pull-up on my ceiling, but be able to hold myself upside down like Spider-Man. Shoot, that would be sick. Man, I wish I could hang from my ceiling, but there's nothing to do it from. I can always goil, though. Thankfully. Hey, it sure is. Good stuff. So we were finishing up the Hero of the 5 Points last time we left off. I've prepared another story called Dragons of Tomorrow, which seemed pretty promising. But we were hoping to finish up the Hero of the 5 Points first. Let's see, let me get some appropriate ambiance. Let's go with Tinker's Workshop. So, last we left off in the Hero of the 5 Points, we saw our hero, Dalton Dent, trying to take down the monstrosity known as Mose, a Mangleborn, born of the Mangle spawn, a race of titanic entities that arise, awaken, and destroy the world by eating all of the electricity on the planet. So anytime that anytime that humanity evolves and advances to the point of having electricity, this is when the Mangle spawn rise and start wreaking havoc. And they have had children with humans in the past, and that's where Mangleborn come from. So in this kind of steampunk-esque, kind of 50s type vibe world, there is this creature known as Mose. And it gives a little description here at the start. It was said that it would take a wagon load of beer to sate him. He carried a 50-gallon keg on his belt like a canteen. Mose used to climb to the top of 7-story tall Imartha Machine Man buildings and blow airships off course. He could dive off the battery and come up at the beach on Staten Island. This dude could frickin' climb Mount Everest on a Tuesday afternoon. And he is a part of the Bowery Boys, one of the gangs within the 5 Points. We find Dalton joining up with the Dead Rabbits, kind of entering into their gang on the sly, because he is actually a part of this group called the Septembrists. The Septembrist Society being the ones that are trying to stop humanity from evolving to the point of electricity. They're trying to stop humanity from getting to that point where they have electricity, so that they don't have yet another repeat of the Mangle spawn coming up and wrecking face, And so we saw the exploration of the sewers and the depths and this labyrinth that the Septembrists had created to slow down the Mangle spawn if they ever do awaken. That's where Mose's hideout and home was, so we got to see kind of where Mose actually came from. Then we saw the attempt at Mose's life turn into the mutation and growing of Mose, where Mose got zapped by electricity because of frickin' I think it was Edison. Thomas Edison. He got zapped by lightning by Thomas Edison because Edison wanted to find out more about Mose. He wanted to study the Mangle spawn and the Mangleborn and learn more about them and what he could do with them. So he decided to zap him with lightning, which just mutated him and made him grow even larger. And so now they have like a Titanic, kaiju-esque man rolling about in a top hat and suspenders. And they now need to go and stop him. There is currently a bounty on Mose's head. Anyone that can bring him to Edison alive is going to get just a buttload of cashola. And so all of the gangs of the 5 Points are now going to head and try to take down this monstrosity known as Mose. But Dalton knows that if that is to happen, if Edison gets his hands on Mose, then they're doomed, because Edison also wants to advance humanity to the point of electricity and thus bring about the apocalyptic event of the Mangleborn rising once again. So it is a race to see if they can stop Mose before the rest of the gangs, and that is where we leave. That is where we start back up. So, I hope you guys are ready. This will be quite the chase. Let's see, what kind of ambience do we want for this? Let's start with something a little bit chill. Just some Age of Steam ambiance. Yo, I miss Fish Cinderella too, Randy. Lots of ragdolls, beautiful boys. Boys! And a lot of skin removal too, for sure. Alright, now we're ready to go. It took far less than an hour for word of Edison's offer to spread through the 5 points. Alright. Okay. Sorry, I saw in the chat Coleman wanted me to play the DK rap, and Coleman, you can't just suggest that and think that I won't do it. Oh. All right. All right. Let me sip my tea, and then we will proceed with the tale. It kind of is the perfect ambiance. Is there? There is. This is the DK rap slowed and reverbed. I thought it would be a little more ambient than that. Alas. Play blended W? I don't know what that is, Bebo. Goyle into the DK rap. Maybe in a little bit. Do we have that as a channel point thing now? We don't have it yet. Ah, okay. Shoot, I'll tell you what, since it's about 5,000, that seems like a good amount. Or how about we say, because I think we had planned to make it a 10,000 channel point reward, but for today, we'll go for 5,000. If you redeem lose the glasses, I will both lose my glasses and Goyle. That is a promise. Oh, stretch time. All right, what do you want for stretches? You want back bend, handstand, kicks, or tuck jump. Randy immediately. All right, okay. It's time then. Yeah, I'll do the handstand and the Goyle. Yeah, I can do a handstand here. Check it out. I've kind of been wanting to for a while. Because I do it a fair amount just in my free time. Against right about here. is where I do it. Alright, hold up. Let's get the DK rap going. Alright.
He's bigger, faster, and stronger too. He's the first member.
Gotta lose the glasses as well. Alright, let's see. Will you be able to see well enough?
He's a hard style, so listen up to. She can shrink in size to suit her mood. She's quick and nimble when she needs to be. She can go through the air and climb a tree. If you choose her, you'll not choose wrong. With a skip and a hop, she's one cool car. He has no style. He has no grace. This car has abundant space. He can handstand when he needs to and stretch his arms out just for you.
He's the first member of the Goyle crew.
This crazy car just digs his tune.
Alright, hold up. Now it's time to Goyle.
Again and about time too. And this time he's in the mood.
Alright, demonstrate Goyle.
With his jetpack on, with his pistols out. He's one tough cop. He'll make you smile when he places two. But remnants beware, 'cause he's after you. Finally, he's here for you. It's the last member of the DK crew. This song so strong, it isn't funny. Can't pick up a gremlin, cry out for love. Can't pick up a boulder with relative ease. Makes crushing seem such a breeze. He may move slow, he can't jump high, but this car's one hell of a guy. Come on, Cranky, take it to the fridge.
Alright.
Walnuts, peanuts, pineapple smells, grapes, melons, oranges, and coconut shells. Oh yeah, walnuts, peanuts, pineapple smells, grapes, melons, oranges, and coconut shells. Oh yeah.
Alright. Enough excitement.
Performance for you. If you know the words, you can join in too. Put your hands together if you wanna clap as we take you through this monkey rap.
Hang on.
Of the bunch, you know him well. He's finally back to kick some tail. His coconut gun can fire in spurts. If he shoots ya, it's gonna hurt. He's bigger, faster, and stronger too. He's the first member of the
Alright.
crew.
Alright, this is going on long enough. Now, is it, is it time to start reading? I think it is. Yes. Bevo. I think this has been my most powerful form yet. Right? If this isn't the most powerful I've ever been, then I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Honestly, I feel you there, Randy. I think some IRL content would be pretty fun. If I can, and honestly, like, I think it's fairly easy to stream on Twitch from my phone. But the question is whether my LTE is good enough to be able to do that. But, yeah, if you guys are interested, we could try, like, doing a, I don't know, like a walk-in stream / flips and fun times. The Offender Shuffle. I have not. A fishing stream? That sounds kind of hype. Me and Coleman were doing some fishing in Tales of Arise. That's pretty fun. If it's anything like that, then I'll be mega down. What is the Offender Shuffle? Well, I gotta look it up now. Oh, dude, what? What do you mean? What is this? It's got 48 million views. It's from 12 years ago? Holy moly. This is a relic. Yeah, what's up, mod shooter? Quality DK content, man. That is the greatest compliment I've ever received. If I can get both enough cellular and figure out how to stream on my phone, I would do a fishing stream on my kayak. Heck yeah. Yeah, that must be an old meme. 12 years ago. Holy moly. Oh no, we're moving into your neighborhood? Oh boy. Oh man. Alright guys, I think we start a reading now. Otherwise we might not finish this this tale. But for real, thank you for that, guys. I will say it's I think that probably made my day. That did make my day, and I'm hoping it did the same for you too. Now, go ahead and get comfy, get cozy, and get ready for this here midday story. Or let's call it Snow Day Story. This is the final chapter of Hero of the 5 Points by Alan Gratz. It took far less than an hour for word of Edison's offer to spread through the 5 Points. By the time Dalton had found the right dress and wig for Agatha, open warfare had descended on Paradise Square. The Dead Rabbits, the Plug Uglies, the Shirt Tails, and the 40 Thieves. The Chichesters, the Chichesters, the Charlestonians, and Roach Guards. They all met at the crossroads of the 5 Points, with their arsenals of bricks, knives, and hatchets, and aether pistols. And the cobblestones ran red with blood. And they weren't the only ones touched by the madness. For every hovel and tenement, every poorhouse and slum, came the wretched masses, for whom the promise of $10,000 was like a golden airship hovering just out of reach, ready to fly them away from the miserable desolation of their lives. Dalton pulled Agatha by the hand past cutthroats and looters toward the heart of the 5 Points.
Dalton, can this really work?
She asked him.
Do you really think Mose will follow me just because I'm dressed up like his dolly?
I wish I knew. Dalton told her. The brute has a brain the size of a peanut. which might mean he'll conflate the two of you and think you're his doll. Or it might mean he's so stupid he can't make the connection. If he does see you as his doll, lead him up to the roof of Nikosi's department store, and we'll knock him off with the crane they use to unload airships. Hey, good luck, Randy.
And if he doesn't?
Agatha asked. Run, Dalton told her. Fast. I'm sorry, Agatha. It's the only way I can think to kill him. But we have to try. If we don't, he'll kill everyone in the 5 Points. Worse, if Edison gets his hands on him.
I know,
Agatha said.
I said I'd do it.
At Skinando Street, they found Mr. Rivets, tossing buckets of water on one of a dozen buildings the mob had set fire to. Mr. Rivets! Where are the police? The city's tick-tock firemen? Dalton asked. Oh.
They have erected barricades around the 5 Points, sir, and are permitting no one in or out.
Mr. Rivets paused to bat away a hatchet-wielding shirt-tail, then continued.
They seem to be willing to let the inhabitants of the 5 Points slums exterminate themselves and burn all the tenements down.
Zeus's beard, Dalton said. There are thousands of innocent people in the 6th Ward. And do they expect the fires to just politely stop at the edge of the 5 Points and burn no further?
It does stretch credulity, sir.
Has Mose put in an appearance yet?
I believe you'll find him taking a stroll in Paradise Square, sir.
Dalton, Agatha, and Mr. Rivets pushed on to the center of the 5 Points, where Mose appeared to be taking on the entire 6th Ward at once. People in the streets attacked him with whatever they had. Bricks, bottles, shovels, pitchforks, butcher's cleavers, hatchets, aether pistols. But Mose batted them all away. He moved through the square like a tornado, smashing and bashing and stomping anything in his path. The electrical shock had unhinged something in him, Dalton guessed. Broken that small part of him that had been human. He operated now like a terrible machine of war, killing indiscriminately. Be down to add a channel point redemption to play a sound like Couch has, specifically the Hog Rider sound. I don't have the sound that Couch plays, but I do have.
I was born to game. I'm no ordinary gamer. I'm no ordinary gamer.
I may or may not have a Couch soundboard. But I think that is easy enough to have channel points that do just play a sound. Oh, that would be nice. We do need more fart noises in this here stream. That would be fun to hear in the middle of the story, Randy, honestly. Yeah. Couch soundboard.
Dude, I was born to game.
I think that one's my favorite.
I was born to game.
I was born to game. Billy's first funeral. Wait, you lost your story? No! Randy, I would love to read that. Shoot. Shoopskas, dude. The 5 Point Gang stood the best chance of tackling Mose together, but they fought separately, sometimes even against each other, all in hopes of winning Edison's bounty. Mose killed them all. Not at once, but slowly, methodically, caving in their skulls and stomping out their guts, and cleaving them in half as they came at him. Dalton watched as Mose pulled Kit Burns' arms from their sockets, one at a time. Jeez. It was freaking brutal. Oh, shoot. Well, you know. Whether it was a serious story or a silly one. I'm sure it would still be cool to check out.
Together! We have to mob together!
Hellcat Maggie cried, but no one was listening to her. A Seminole woman of the 40 Thieves jumped her from behind, and they tumbled through the street, gouging and biting at each other while the 5 Points burned. "All right," Dalton said. "Let's see if we can get Moses' attention." Agatha grabbed his arm.
Dalton, the children! Look! I moved them out of the tunnels into the old brewery on Cross Street, and it's on fire!
Agatha ran for the building, and Dalton and Mr. Rivets followed her. The old brewery was 3 stories tall and built like an Iroquois longhouse, stretching out over 2 city blocks. Its thatch roof was on fire, and flames poured out of an open doorway on the 1st floor. Children hung out of the 3rd floor windows, wailing and coughing and crying out for help.
Help! Oh, help! Someone help!
Agatha cried out to the warring mob in Paradise Square, but no one listened. She tried to go in herself, but Dalton pulled her back before the flames scorched her.
Oh, Dalton, it's my fault!
She said, burying her head in Dalton's shoulder so she wouldn't have to watch.
I told them to hide inside and not to come out for anything, and now they're going to die.
Allow me, miss.
Mr. Rivets said.
My brass gears can survive more exposure to the conflagration than your organs can.
Mr. Rivets marched into the burning building and was swallowed by the flames. "I'll find a fire engine," Dalton said. He turned to run and found himself face to knee with Mose. Dalton froze, wondering what it would feel like when Mose plucked his arms and legs from their sockets. But to his surprise, the giant only batted him away and strode toward the door of the old brewery.
Oh, no you don't!
Agatha said.
Mose! You stop right there!
The hulking giant turned on her, eyes wild, nostrils flaring like the steam valves on a locomotive.
Please, please, Agatha added meekly. The wild look in Moses' eyes softened, and he put a hand to the pocket of the ragged, misshapen pants he still wore.
The doll, Dalton whispered. He's making the connection.
You leave those children alone?
Agatha said. Mose swung his head around to look at the children screaming in the windows. His brows furrowed in anger again, and he charged into the burning building, knocking an enormous hole in the wall where the door had been.
No!
Agatha cried.
No, Dalton, he'll quash 'em! He'll quash them all!
Tinkusu, Mose's tiny companion, came running up to them from Paradise Square.
Did I see that dromedary run inside a burning building?
Dalton turned on the dwarf.
He's going to kill the children.
Kill the children?
Tinkusu said.
Are you cranky?
Mose burst back through the hole in the wall, startling them all. His skin was charred black, and his hair and pants were on fire. And he was hunched over something protectively. He went down on one knee in front of Agatha and opened his massive arms, and 5 little children spilled out. 3 of them were unconscious from the smoke, but otherwise, none of them were hurt.
He saved them,
Dalton said. Agatha bent to tend to the children, tears of relief running down her face. Mose turned to go back inside.
Don't, you big knuckle dragger!
Tinkusu cried.
You'll burn up!
The dwarf wrapped himself around the giant's leg, but Mose plucked him off like a tick and set him aside before disappearing again into the fire. Mr. Rivets came out next, carrying a single child in his arms. He handed him off to Agatha, his brass hole ticking.
I'm afraid I'll have to wait some time before I can go back inside,
He told them.
or else I'll be too hot to safely carry a child.
Or fetch some water to cool you down,
Dalton said. He needn't have bothered. Before Mr. Rivets was cool enough to go back inside, Mose had brought out 2 more armloads of children. His naked body burned more and more horribly each time, like the sorcerer's apprentice, like a golem. He did the same thing over and over again, always without thought or concern for himself.
Hold up.
There we go. Ah, nice. Sounded a little bit too, reverby and intercom-esque. But that is better. That's the last of the children who were inside.
Mr. Rivets said when Mose deposited his most recent armful, and Agatha did a quick head count to confirm it. Mose turned to go back inside the building.
Hey! You big booby!
Tinkusu said.
Didn't you hear him? There's no more squeakers inside! You don't have to go!
You did good, Mose,
Agatha said gently, like she was talking to a child. She still wore the blue dress and the blonde wig, which seemed to soothe the monster. She reached out a hand to touch him, but drew back from the awful red blisters all over his skin.
You did really good. But you mustn't go back in there again. You'll die.
Mose didn't listen, or perhaps he was too far gone to understand.
electrocuted, mutated, and brain-addled, blistered and burnt and scarred, Mose dragged himself slowly, warily, back into the old brewery. Tinkusu clung to him, weeping and begging him not to go back inside. Mr. Rivets had to pull off to keep him from being swallowed up with Mose in the firestorm. They waited in the street for what seemed like an eternity. Dalton, Agatha, Tinkusu, and the children, but Mose never reappeared. Timbers snapped and cracked, the roof folded, and the old brewery fell in on itself in an avalanche of cinders and fire and ash. Dalton and Agatha held each other, surrounded by the children Mose had saved. Mr. Rivets removed his brass bowler hat. Tinkusu sat down in the middle of the street and sobbed.
The big dumb galoot.
He said through his tears.
That Mose was the only friend I ever had.
Hang on, I need a sip of tea.
There were 100 stories told in the streets of the Five Points about the giant gangster Mose. That he was 15 feet tall and 10 feet wide. That he walked the streets naked, for an entire bolt of cloth could not clothe him. That he had the strength of 100 men. Mose had single-handedly cleaned up the gangs of the Five Points and the Bowery, making the 6th Ward safe again. Mose had tricked an Astor Place dandy out of $10,000. Mose had saved a beautiful cigar girl from molesters in a back alley. Mose had rescued 100 babies from a burning hospital, carrying them out in great armfuls, a dozen at a time. Mose became a folk hero to the 6th Ward's poor and destitute. A star of musicals that played to packed houses at Astor Theater uptown. Mose the fireman. Mose the Bowery boy. Mose the hero of the 5 Points. The truth, Dalton knew, was somewhere between legend and reality.
Revisionist history,
Dalton told Agatha. Agatha? Dalton told Agatha as they stood arm in arm, waiting with Mr. Rivets for the submarine ferry that would take them across the Hudson to the Palisades Airship Park in Jersey.
The same way humanity can take the true story of a colossal fire-breathing mango-born chained to a rock and turn it into a mythical titan who brought the knowledge of fire to mankind. We like to temper our horrors, don't we? Though we don't always turn them into the heroes of comic operas.
Mose had a good heart, Agatha pointed out. Mose single-handedly killed more than 450 people, most of them in hideously alarming ways. Dalton wanted to argue, but he enjoyed the warm sensation standing arm in arm with Agatha, and was loath to ruin it. And Mose had, in his stunned, simple-minded way, protected the children of the 5 Points. Even the dead children in his lair. He hadn't kidnapped them, they realized later. The children had gone into the tunnels because they heard the call of the Mangoborn beneath the city, and Mose had saved them from marching mindlessly to their deaths in the puzzle traps, the only way his tiny brain knew how. By putting them behind bars. That too was why he softened at the sight of Agatha at the old brewery. It wasn't that she looked like his doll, but that they both looked like children. It was why he'd taken orders from a dwarf and run into a burning building again and again and again until he had burned himself to death. Mose had loved children. Agatha's arm aside, Dalton was forced to admit that perhaps some monsters could also be heroes. And your Septemberist society? They'll take care of the orphans? Agatha asked for the 100th time that day.
Our Septemberist society, Dalton reminded her. Our Septemberist society.
Dalton reminded her, for Agatha, much to his heart's delight, had decided to leave her home in the 5 Points and return to Philadelphia with him and join the Septemberist society. She wanted to study ancient Atlantean and Mu and Lemurian with him and save the world from monsters. Not that she had any real home to go back to. The fire from the 5 Points riot burned day and night for a week, taking out everything from Canal Street in the north to Broadway in the west, to City Hall and the tombs in the south. Punishment, Dalton considered it, for city officials barricading the 5 Points and letting it burn.
And yes, the society will find homes for them all. They frequently do the same for other children orphaned by Mangleborn or Manglespawn. Perhaps one day they'll grow up to be Septemberists themselves, eh?
And Edison?
Agatha asked. I'd give the society a complete report on him. I've given the society a complete report on him. They'll keep an eye on him, you can be sure.
Dalton told her as they stepped aboard the submarine, away from the 5 Points, and toward their future together.
You needn't worry, my dear. Edison won't be raising any Mangleborn or creating any golems with the strength of 100 men. Not while the Septemberist Society is on the case.
The Septemberist Society! Man, that was awesome. I found this story to be an engaging read. I might have to check out some of the other stories in this world. Honestly, me too, Andy. Me too. Great story. Looking forward to the next from this author. Yeah, it's like the Gangs of New York, but with a kaiju hero. A kaiju man hero. Skull crushings, dismemberments, self-immolation, children's bones in cages. Things sure have changed since I was in YA. Bro. Heck yeah. Yeah, there were some dark moments in there too, honestly. I find that that's kind of the best, it's kind of the best thing for young adult fiction, in my opinion. You know, you throw enough dark stuff in there for it to be real, you know? But you still give it that young adult genre charm. Yeah, Kingi. Honestly, because I mean, the whole tale of Moses is tragic in of itself. I mean, he is this, like, Hulk of a being, you know, one that is unstoppable, like, strong as heck, but he's, you know, because he was born of a Mangle spawn and a human, he can't exactly think like a normal human can, and because of that, he ended up living in isolation in the sewers for ages. He saved the children that lived down there too, but in saving them, he doomed them to a fate worse than they would have encountered otherwise, without realizing it. Was any skin removed, though? It depends on if you count
like an arm removal, does that count as like removing skin technically? Because with the arm is the skin of the arm. Yeah? Or if you count like the decomposition of a human being, is that technically skin removal? That's over a long span of time, but I think that still counts. Probably. And man, I love the way it's written too. It seems like this world has been quite well developed as well. You know, there are points in it where it's easy to tell that a lot has been determined about the world, and they don't linger on things too often. You know, it's normal that he went there on a submarine and left on a submarine. It's normal to refer to things, you know, with like some, you know, certain things are referred to, like, you know, the Club of Hercules, kind of taking from Greek mythos. There are ray guns, you know, these Aether pistols. The way they talk, too, so freaking good. What was that one line? It ended up getting clipped. Say that to my Mazard, you mangle something. Dude, it was said by Maggie, Hellcat Maggie. Yeah, here it is. Come and say that to my Mazard, you maggot-arsed jackanapes. So sick, man. And I love that too, because she's technically cursing up a storm there, I think. But because it's how they curse in this realm, it's you know, it can get a pass for it being a young adult's piece of literature. And what are we talking about in the chat? Yo, it's George, my friend from first grade. Arguably, yes, I'd buy that. So those chemicals you drank in the bathroom did some numbers. Oh no. Oh boy. Yeah, this was incredibly well put together. I'm definitely impressed with this one. And honestly, fairly enchanted too. You know, this whole like, yeah, steampunk, Gangs of New York vibe is such a sick setting. And the story ended up being much more compelling than I expected. You know, I thought it was gonna just turn into this, and honestly, it's what I was kind of building it up to be as I described where the story had gone so far. I expected them to have this great epic battle with Mose at the end there, where they trick him into, you know, following the girl dressed up as the doll. They get him to follow, and then like fall into a burning building, and they defeat him, and then all is set right. But they flipped it on its head there at the end, and I really appreciate that. Because honestly, when you first hear about Mose, I don't know if you were right there with me on that, but I heard the first description of Mose and started being like, let's go. This guy seems freaking sick. This guy is awesome. Like, he's just a giant fella that's like unstoppable and wears I think like a custom top hat, or no, a tiny top hat. Because I mean, look at him up here. Yeah, he wears a little what do you call that? A little tiny chimney as a top hat. That's so good. So you know, like as the story was going on, I wanted to root for Mose, but you know, it starts to, you know, it reveals that Dalton's mission there is to kill Mose and to stop him. But the balance there between, you know, between chasing after Mose, trying to defeat him, and revealing stuff about Mose steadily. It was quite good. Alan Gratz. See, the other one is Join or Die. Love the art for these stories. Oh my gosh. And League of Seven, an excerpt from it. Skyfall. He apparently did a little article about Skyfall as well. Well, shoot, we could either check out Join or Die, or the little excerpt from the League of Seven, or I have also found this story, which looked pretty enticing, called Dragons of Tomorrow. Got a solid hour left, which means there is certainly time enough for a second story today. Yeah. Wait, Hellcat Maggie was in Gangs of New York? For real? She was. That's right. Oh man, it's been a while since I've seen it. But yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, there's even... Wow, okay. So this really was, like, directly influenced by Gangs of New York. Because there were, yeah, there was, the Dead Rabbits and the Bowery Boys. All of that was in Gangs of New York. That's awesome. I never would have thought that, somebody could take... man, it just goes to show you that the best kind of media, in my opinion, is taken from something else and making something new. Taken from the great and making something greater. Yeah, she had the claws. What is DST? Oh, daylight savings time? Oh, when is that? It's in March? Why are we talking about daylight savings time? What? Bebo, what? Oh, yo, Emerald. Yeah, do be careful. That's why we ended up moving our cars in our driveway. Backed them up because they were under a solid branch. But yeah, anybody in NC that's watching this, heads up. Tree branches do be falling. The snow weighs heavy on those branches. Oh, don't starve together. Gotcha. So not daylight savings time. I guess that would make a little more sense. Hey, that's right, Randy. Good thing Emerald was there to hear it. Otherwise, it wouldn't have made a sound. Or would it have? Show off my Isaac skills. Oh, snap. You want to see me play Binding of Isaac? Shoot. I do play that a fair amount in my spare time. I don't know if I'm as skilled as you might think, though. I've been grinding out runs with the keeper. And the keeper's deal is that his health is money, is coins. And he can only ever get up to 3 coins for health. So the best case scenario is that you have 3 hits in any case, or you're dead. Which, you know, you might think is pretty chill, but you hit those rooms sometimes where it just is cheap and you don't have enough to deal with all the hullabaloo that's in that room, and you get hit twice and it's over. Yeah, Randy, you know the pain of the keeper. I've beaten the negative so far, and I've gotten to the chest, but haven't beaten the Polaroid side, and then I'm planning on trying to beat greedier mode with him as well. So, yeah, wish me luck. There are documented cases of the game literally cheating. Yeah, man, I don't doubt that. Nearly 100% the game before Repentance. And Repentance ended up making me lose interest. Oh, that's rough. I'm working steadily towards 100%ing the game. That is, I think, my ultimate goal. It's just an easy game to load up and play in my spare time, or, you know, if I have like 30 minutes to spare, stuff like that. And so I, you know, just kind of been working through it. I at least want to beat all of the hard modes with all the characters. That's the goal. To fill out that sheet on the left, or the top left. But shoot, you guys want gamer time? Cause I do have a couple of games. I got Hades, Binding of Isaac. I picked up Bug Fables pretty recently. I had been playing through Eastward earlier. Oh, Bebo, you think I haven't played Enter the Gungeon? My dude. My dude. That was my first roguelike. That was the first roguelike game that I came across and sunk just hours and hours into. Love that game to death. Clone runs? Clone runs. Need I say more? Eh? Hey, me too, Bebo. I got it on the Switch. I feel that pain, Bebo. I feel that pain. I had to do it with Joy-Con drift as well. Yeah, the rainbow runs are a flippin' blast. Are you kidding me? Mod Shooter put me onto this game. I think I'm gonna play it for stream soon. Enter the Gungeon? Dude, heck yeah. Honestly, I've been thinking of getting it for PC. And there is a 2-player option. By the way, they will replace Drift Joy-Cons for free usually. Oh. Eaten Lich with it, yeah. I'll always recommend Monster Train to people who like roguelikes. Yeah, I saw Monster Train. That was one that slipped my view. I didn't end up actually getting, but it seemed like a fun time. My favorite roguelike of all time, though, Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire is my love. It is my love. That game is just so good, man. I think Nintendo would know how to make a decent controller by now. Yeah. That's why I really only ever play with the Pro Controller now. Monster Train is similar to Slay the Spire? Shoot. Shoot, dude. I think I'll need to get that then. Ugh. Oof. It's unfortunately a guaranteed thing to happen. What is this? Faith. Oh snap, dude. This looks intense. I see the first comment I see is just, this is madness. You should try Inscription. That's one that, Conch tried out. Or Conch really loves, rather. And it's actually in, the second highlight reel there. With the, Gordon Ramsay moment. Yeah, OG Don't Starve is kind of roguelike. I agree with that. Yeah, Pharaoh. He will not be a pelt. He shall not allow it. I have post-day 100 solo Don't Starve world. Oh, goodness. That seems pretty sick. Nicely done. Nicely done. But if you like Slay the Spire, probably like Monster Train. Just play a bit first, since until you get later, I've heard that they feel really similar. Huh. You had to cheat, Bebo? Bebo! Eh, understandable. I don't know much about Don't Starve, but I do know it can get pretty difficult. Well, I guess we could gamer time. I would say I want to at least start our next story here. And then if there's a little time at the end of my segment, we can maybe load up some Isaac or Hades or start up Bug Fables. That'll be cool. I sounded like Barney from Andy Griffith. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Watched that show a lot growing up. And I find that a lot of times the way that people talk is influenced really heavily by just the inflection and way people spoke in the things that they watched growing up. You know? Like, by all accounts, I ought to have a southern accent. I believe I lived, you know, more towards the south for the more developmental stages of my life, but I think I just watched enough like YouTubers and cartoons and such that I you know, kind of maintained a northern tinge. But yeah, real quick though. That's better. But we could browse a little bit too. That was the first one that popped up and did stick out to me. But there's also a number of other ones. Kingmaker, Dogs of Athens. We read that one on a different occasion. When Gods and Vampires Roamed Miami. Tucketer's Last Swim. Friends Till the End. Noma Girl. Doppel. I like the name Doppel. We read Bridge of Snow. The Rain is a Lie. We Have Always Lived on Mars. That one did seem kind of cool. I remember reading the little blurb about that. That one. Oh, Do Not Touch was another one that seemed cool. It is the Squidward walking into paintings story. Heads Will Roll. I say we do Not Touch. We've Always Lived on Mars. Or Dragons of Tomorrow. Go with these three. What do you guys think? Any chance we could do a poll? King Geekara? We get a poll loaded up by chance? Hit me with a poll, please. Hit me in the face with a poll. Hit me with a North Pole or South Pole. King Geekara votes Mars. Nice, nice. Do you think that one could be cool? But yeah, the three are Dragons of Tomorrow, Do Not Touch, and We Have Always Lived on Mars. I really would like that. Anytime that we choose a new story, it would be really cool to have you guys in the chat be the ones to pick it, you know? Elon Musk? What about him?
Killer fish. Killer fish from San Diego. I don't know what I am, but I taste really good. I'm a killer fish. Hello. I'll be your killer fish for the evening. Thank you.
Bro, I love that meme. Killer fish from San Diego. Killer fish from San Diego has my heart. All I'm saying. Dragons, Mars, and what? Oh, Dragons, We've Always Lived on Mars, and Do Not Touch. Otherwise known as Squidward Goes into Paintings. What? It's the killer fish from San Diego. Randy, what do you think it is? Look at DMs. I don't see a DM from you. Oh, wait, I see it now. Gosh dang it. Okay. Alright, Beebo. Oh, let's see here. What else can I show you? Check it out. Oiled again. Oh, this one's always a good one. where's the audio?
Not burp. The star. I might have the Star Wars Lego set Death Star, but can he chug a sparkling water and not burp?
Can he?
Oh my gosh. What do I do?
Bro, what does he do? What does he do? Alright, how we doing on the poll? Alright, we got 2 from Mars. Nice. What about the rest of you, huh? Come on. We got about 16 others who can vote. That's you. You know, take that little mouse cursor, click on the one that you like, and then we get to read it. Some good stuff. I command you. Take the poll, please. Let's see. Oh, that's why it's not showing up. They're over here. Oh, this one's pretty good.
Does this ever happen to you?
That one's so good. Aw, man. It's over. Dude, Scott the Woz out of context is one of the greatest things. One of the greatest things you can experience. This one's pretty good.
You see nipple? Me thirsty.
Yeah. There are more memes in my DMs. This is good. This is thing I like to hear. Is it safe for the stream though? Is my question. I'll mute it first. I still am not sure if it's safe.
New message. Hey, this is Phil from the Small Wiener Club.
Hello, Phil. I don't know. I don't know if I trust it. I need to screen the memes beforehand. Alright, we got 5 from Mars. It's looking good. Oh, nice. Old crappy cell phone videos of dancing monkeys on a loop. That's the dream, Remy. That is the dream. That is fair. That's fair. Small Wiener Club is a fine thing. Alright, looks as though we are checking out. We have always lived on Mars. Good stuff. I'll need some appropriate music. I've never seen the sky or the sun or the stars or the moon. Alright, let's see. What are we thinking? 4 songs. Wait, I have since saved some things to new. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is good. Alright. So, this is We have always lived on Mars. By Cecil, Castellucci. I have never seen the sky, or the sun, or the stars, or the moons. My great-great-great-great-grandparents, along with the others on their crew, came here on an exploratory colony mission. But they were left here long ago, when Earth was silent. We will never get home. This is where we live. We have always lived on Mars. I've never taken a breath of fresh air. There's been a storm raging for decades. There is a cloud cover that never goes away. There are rules for living here. Recycle the water. Tend to the hydroponic plants. Breed the farm animals. Manage the air. Fix all parts of the habitats. Everyone follows the rules. Everyone works at living. Or else, we all die. We are few. We never number more than 24. We cannot ever grow the colony to more than what we can fit into the habitats. Sometimes, if there are too many of us, one of the older members of our community walks outside unsuited to make room. I've never seen them do it. They go at night, not long after a new babe is born, and when almost everyone is asleep. We wake up and one of our members is missing, and we know. I know that one day when I am old, I might do it myself. We are the last humans, Nina. My mother reminds me every time I put on the suit to go outside. The suit was not made for me, but it fits me perfectly. I must be built a lot like my great-great-great-great-grandmother, Lieutenant Commander Yu, according to our history. She was the 10th person to step on Mars. What's the point? I always ask. My mother just shakes her head. Everyone is all about survival of the species, even though we cannot grow past what the colonists started with. But I feel differently. I hate this cramped life, this small space, this constant living on top of one another. I long to run, to be alone, to be away from these others clinging to the end of humanity. To not have to check my gear 1,000,000 times before I step outside. It would have been easier for most colonists. It would have been easier if more colonists had come, but they never did. I've learned about how my great-great-great-great-grandparents waited for the second wave of colonists and supply ships to come, but they never arrived. The storm came and everything about our world went dark. The radios only spout static now, although we are always listening. The sky is always covered in a never-ending haze. All Simpsons, go. I'm sorry about that. The freaking flub of the mouth, of the tongue. Him. All systems go? All systems go? My mother asks. Yeah, I say, checking all the valves and the oxygen levels. I am good to go. My mother taps my helmet, giving me the all-clear signal. I step forward into the airlock along with Devon, my walking partner, and we wait for the depressurization and the sudden feeling of lightness. The suit never seems heavy when I step outside on my daily errands, to check for any growth between the red rocks. We have been trying to infect the planet with life so that we can make it ours. But it is slow going. Sometimes there is moss. I like to walk outside. I always keep my eyes out for scrap. Sometimes that might be uncovered by the storm. Something that might be uncovered by the storm. Something that we missed that we can use. It was said that 50 years ago, a rover rolled in. It had probably circled the whole planet. It wasn't much, but it had samples and it had parts. The colony made good use of it. Once we were young, a satellite fell near the habitat and there was something useful in it. If we find enough materials, we might be able to build a new habitat and add 6 more people to our colony. We would finally be able to grow. A few decades ago, we expanded the habitat when we dismantled the tiny observatory that housed the telescope. I'm sure it was not an easy thing to do. We'd waited for so long for the sky to clear, but since the storm came, no one has seen the stars. And the survival now is more important than looking up at some unknown future date. Now the telescope lays open to the elements. I've seen pictures of the sky. I know that there are 2 moons that orbit our planet. I know that Earth would look like a little blue star in the sky. But I have never seen it. I never will. We only go out during the day. At night it is too cold. This planet hates us.
A planet cannot hate,
my father says.
It can only be.
I disagree with him. Mars never wanted life. That's why it never had it. Not even a single-celled organism. We try to live and thrive, but we are always near to failing. At first, we tried to keep a sterile environment protocol in order to not mess with any potential bacteria. But after Earth fell silent, my great-great-great-great-grandparents began to experiment, first inside the habitat, now outside. We come from scientists, after all, and even though most of the science is forgotten, we are survivors. Chapter 2. Devin and I shuffle along the ridge, looking for any hint of green. The walking is also part of our necessary exercise to keep our bones strong. He heads toward a cluster of rocks. I head toward the telescope. I stroke it with my gloved hand as if it was one of the goats we keep. The telescope is useless and discarded, already picked clean for parts. I wonder what it would be like to look through it. I turn my head up toward the sky. It's covered. I wish I could see what lies above those dirty clouds. I head down the hill. The gravity is not the same as inside the habitat. Or maybe it's the suit that always makes me so clumsy. And so I fall. As I do, I seem to fly in the air. I love the feeling when I trip. Like I can fly. But then, I hear the sound. A rip. It's my suit. It was the rock I landed on that did it. I feel a rush and know that I'm losing air. I am going to die. I look toward my walking partner, Devin. Devin drops his bucket and springs towards me. I can't see his face due to the solar vision that he has pulled down. I can only see a reflection of me. I seem calm when I see myself lying on the ground. I know that he's probably distressed at the situation. We train for rips. We train for emergencies. The suits we wear are so old and threadbare that it is bound to happen. It has happened before, and no one has survived for longer than 4 minutes. I placed my hand on the rip as I was taught, trying in vain to hold it closed, hoping that somehow my oxygen wouldn't run out. I feel weak. My knees buckle. I watch as my tank hits 0. I start to pass out as I feel Devon's arms hook under mine and drag me towards safety. Carpet. Bro. That face goes perfectly with the comment. Chapter 3. When I wake up inside the habitat, there are 5 faces leaning over me. They are smiling. And then when I cough, they begin to clap. I do not understand why I am not dead. It's a miracle, my mother says, pressing her hand on my forehead. It's finally happened, my father says. A child has adapted to Mars. Our founder's work on breeding is paying off. We must do some tests, Boaz, the oldest of our colony, says. He knows more about the science than has been passed down to anyone. He will never step outside to sacrifice himself. He will never step outside to sacrifice himself. All my physicals show nothing different than anyone else. My heart is good. My lungs are good. My bones are good. My DNA shows small mutations, but nothing that has never been seen before.
We must send her outside. We must send her outside,
Boaz says. It frightens me to try to step outside the habitat without a suit, but my father will go with me, and there will be precautions. What if I can't breathe? I ask.
We'll know in the first second,
he says,
and we'll close the airlock and come back in.
Oh wait, that's her father. My bad, not Boaz. We'll know in the first second, he says, and we'll close the airlock and come back in. My father suits up and puts on his helmet. We sit in the airlock, waiting for light to turn green and the outer door to open. Yeah, isn't there... Well, I guess being on a planet, you wouldn't just get sucked into the vacuum like you would straight up in space. I don't know the science behind it. The light turns, and the door opens. I am struck by wind. My eyes close from the particles that fly about me. I take a big gulp of air. First, I smell things I've never smelt before. It makes me gag. I start to cough. I clutch at my throat. My father takes this to mean that I am dying, so he slams on the button to shut the airlock. The air we can breathe fills the room. When the alarm sounds, he takes off his helmet and then grabs my face, looking at me to see if I'm okay. I am still coughing. Are you okay? Are you okay? We've made a mistake. She can't breathe out there. The inner door swings open and the others rush in. I cough and cough, but put my hand up. I'm fine. I say. I could breathe. It was the dust that startled me. Everyone heaves a collective sigh of relief.
We'll try again tomorrow, Nina,
Boaz says. I must admit that I can't wait. Thankfully, she didn't get clapped. The next day, everyone gathers at the airlock to watch me go outside. I have covered my face with a cloth and my eyes with goggles. The light turns green, and I go outside. I breathe in. I breathe out. There is no problem. The air is sweet. My lungs fill in the way that they have never been filled before. I feel clear-headed, as though my body is getting something essential into it, something that has been missing from the habitat. I turn back to my father, who is standing by the door, and give him the thumbs up. I begin to walk. I've been told that, without the heavy boots or the artificial gravity that we have inside the habitat, walking will be strange. That I will be lighter and less grounded, but everything feels the same. I walk the circle of our habitat. I walk the yard I know so well. And then, lightheaded from the crispness of the air, I make my way back inside. The night there is a feast. That night there is a feast. There is excitement and joy. Hang on. I feel as though this ambiance is not correct. Yeah, this one's better. Oh yeah, heck yeah. That night there is a feast. There is excitement and joy. I notice a change in everyone towards me. Whoa, guitar, hang on. I notice a change in everyone toward me. They stare at me. The little ones think I am magical. The adults look at me with envy. I will be able to leave the crowded habitat and be alone with my thoughts. I will be able to walk farther than the 2 hours the oxygen tank allows for. I might be the beginning of the much-dreamt expansion. They look at me like I am the future. Boaz comes to visit me after dinner. He shoos my family out of the room and shuts the door so we can be alone. We both sit on the corners of the bed. He has his hands folded in front of him.
being the eldest has its responsibilities and its secrets.
He says.
And being the first that can breathe without a suit has them as well. I have decided that you will be the next elder.
I'm too young, I say. An elder should be old.
Yes, perhaps,
he says.
But you can answer questions that no one else can. No one else can.
I understand that to him, I am no longer a child. I nod.
One question that has been asked by us all since we landed here is why did the earth go dark? It is the eternal question. Are we alone? The last gasp of a once proud species. Have we been abandoned? Does life still exist on Earth?
It is hard to be alone,
I say.
I often do not know why we try so hard to survive. He puts his hand up to quiet me from saying things that I know nothing about.
I have always had a question, and now it looks as though you will be able to answer it.
Boaz says.
Why did our founders lie about the amount of oxygen that a tank can hold? Why did they not want us to walk further than 2 hours from here?
The tanks can hold more air?
I am stunned. Yes, he says. That is one of the secrets that I keep.
I shudder at the thought of what other things he might be holding back from us all. I am suddenly uncomfortable with the idea of becoming an elder.
I cannot answer that question, Boaz. But you can breathe outside without a suit. You can walk for more than 2 hours.
I nod. I knew that I was free now. But in this moment it strikes me how free I am. The whole planet is mine to explore. Perhaps there are satellites that fell elsewhere. Perhaps the supply ships crashed on another part of the planet.
I want you to go out and walk south for half of a day. Then I want you to return and tell me what you find.
I will find nothing, I say.
Most likely,
Boaz says.
But will she find nothing?
Or will she find something spacey and science fiction-y and alien and star-powered and Kirby-esque? We'll have to find out next time. Well, actually, I'll ask you guys. Are you enjoying this tale? Would you like me to continue up to my time, or, I promise that I might try to do a little bit of gaming at the end here. So I wanted to check in with the chat, see where we're all at. Here, I'll have some tea time with Monkey. While I wait for you guys to answer. I was asking what everybody was feeling. I had promised earlier that I might do a tiny bit of gaming at the end here. But if we were all enjoying the story here, I'm cool with finishing out my time with this last chapter here. Chapter 5. Nina is about to go out and travel half a day's worth of travel across the surface of Mars to see what she finds. It is a good story. I agree, Carput. But you feel like gaming? Alright. Then gaming it shall be. What game though? Can do Binding of Isaac.
Hades, Bug Fables. Here, we'll do a little bit of binding. Binding. Late binding of Isaac. Of Orazuki. Orazuki. Schlambluski. Oh, there we go. Let's see, is the full thing in there? Nice. Alright, now let's see here. We need to go to our options because the music is completely off at the moment. Keep those at about there. Is the music back on? I don't think it is. Do you guys want to continue the run I was on, or shall I start a new one? Since there's no music, I'll just shuffle the Everhood soundtrack, I think. Actually, how many tracks do I have on here? Yeah, we'll do this one. Oh god, it's so good. Alright, we'll continue this. See how far I can make it. Check it out. I have a defense drone. I have poison shot. I have a lot of money. Oh, oh. You fool. You cannot get past my defense drone. God, they're shooting out their babies far too quickly. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see a coin drop. Oh! Oh no! Oh no. Oh, I do have the chariot. I need to keep that in mind. Because if I get into a tight spot, I can become invincible and glow rainbow. By means of the chariot. Okay, phew. Thank you, coin. Wooden... Is it a wooden nickel? No, it's the wooden penny. Excellent. I have achieved victory. Victory in the trial! Victory is mine. Is it the wooden nickel? Shoot. Huh. Yeah, because wooden nickel sounded right to me. But I just, I just wasn't sure. Alright, now we take whatever this is. Oh, okay. You love to see quick charge. Alright, give. Okay, challenge up as well. You don't particularly love to see, but that's okay. Alright, we'll hang on to a good amount of coin here. Wooden nickel is a bar? Huh. Champion belt is god tier item? I don't know what it means by, like, challenge up. Does it make the game significantly harder, or is it just kind of like, it balances? Only adds more champions. Oh, it only adds more champion enemies. Yeah, that's actually sick as heck then. Yeah, that's alright by me. I like the blue and red enemies. Oh god. Oh god, corn. I don't know that I'm making it through this. Chariot time. Go, go, go. Take him down. Oh, and a dime. You do love to see it. Aha! I have been victorious this day. I'm glad that the wooden nickel gave me a freaking dime that fight. Sick. Do I go for this? Yeah, I do. Gimme. Oh. Shoot, do I replace the coupon with the buddy generator? Because I want to keep the nickel. But do I keep the buddy generator? That's the question. Coupon or buddy generator? I have enough coinage to where I probably don't need the coupon as much or as badly. So I think I hang on to the manual. And in honor of me having a D&D game after the stream here. Randy, whatever you put there is completely censored. Can get what deal item? What? The coupon can get the oh yeah, the coupon can get the devil room items, I'm pretty sure. Censored day? Oh yeah. Is that censored? That's interesting. I don't know why you would need to, but you know, that's fair. So keep the coupon. Alright, yeah, this is a pretty good combo. The coupon and the coin. Sorry, Manuel. Mwah. Give you a kiss, then I leave you behind. Geronimo! Into the next floor. Yo, arcade. What do we got here? Bomb Man and the skull guy. Okay. Oh god. Ooh. Oh, nice. Oh, ow. Thankfully got it back. Oh. The manual's good in repentance? Frick. Okay. Maybe not the right choice. Glass eye. Thank you. I'll take that. I will take a glass eye. Stay back. Get poisoned now. Become poison and then perish. Yes? Yes. Yes. We like to see the squirmy thing get poisoned and then go kablooey. Oh, these hoppy guys. Dude, when I first started playing this game, the hoppy guys were the ones that killed me every single run. I would get into a room with the hoppy fellas, yeah, these little goobers, and they would all just come smashing down into my face. Yeah, especially a room like this where there's a ton of them. And to be fair, even still to this day, if all of them just decide to smash down at the same time, it's nearly impossible to handle. That was a big boy. That was a big blow-up fly there. Oh, yo, what's up, Monstro? Dude, I love these guys. How's it going? I'm sorry, but I must poison you now and destroy you. Oh. I accidentally used my item, which I should not have done. But all good, all good. See, this is what I'm talking about with the keeper. You make just like a tiny slip up, and it can cost you. It can cost you the game. But that is kind of what makes these types of runs a little more exciting, you know? And it is part of why I love Isaac, is, you know, these games, if you mess up, then you do be losing. Yo, what? What song is this? This should not be in the build-up / hype playlist. Sorry, yo. Oh, this one goes hard. This is Blues theme. You guys know Blue if you've been checking out Couch's stream. Hello, giant dookie monster. Have you tried my peas? My peas are delicious. Oh gosh, sorry. I just saw the time. Well, it seems like this run is going well, but my time has come. But hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of gamer time. Oh, the top was cut off? Gotcha. Right on. I'll go for a better setup next time. Like, no, not that. Like this. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I should have switched to this camera for it. My bad. I'll know for next time. All right, let's see. And yeah, maybe next time I can try to do this a little more often, where towards the end of my time we can chillax with a little bit of gamer time. I can become an epic gamer like the others in this in the dear Threatic network. Goyle until Geekera gives it to Couch. Yo, you want me to Goyle as we... I'll do the Goyle outro. I'm alright with that. I'm down with the Goyle outro. Let's see. Alright, I will go ahead and... Dude, just the top of my head. Alright, let me load up the outro theme. And then I'll have to yell to the mic from above. Alright. Alrighty, guys. Remember to take the merriment that we found here together today. Let it set you at ease as you go forward with whatever you got going on today, and let it carry you into tomorrow. Much love, and I hope you enjoyed the merrymitch segment of the Threatic Network stream. Stick around, we've got more goiling coming up. I have confirmed it with all our other streamers. They are planning on goiling for each. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I cannot confirm or deny whether or not other goils will be goiling, but I hope they will be. The more goil we have, the better, in my opinion. But I am but a humble goil. I am but a humble gardener. Now, much love, guys. Remember to love yourself so that you might love others next. And I'll catch you in the next one.